Welcome to the Climate Gap Quick Cuts, a podcast for busy people building climate solutions. We spotlight founders, builders, operators, and investors doing the hard work behind real progress. I'm Ben, co-founder of Element 6. We connect climate tech companies with the people who make scale possible. Let's get into it. So AI in buildings isn't new. Controls have relied on machine learning for decades now. Yet in boardrooms and boiler rooms, fear still lingers. Executives see risk, operators imagine job losses, and the public hears sci-fi takeover. So how do you flip that script? How do you show that AI in buildings isn't a leap into the unknown, but actually a trusted evolution of what teams already use every day? In this episode of Quick Cuts, I sat down with Danielle Radden, VP of Global Revenue Operations at Facil.AI. She's led pilots, navigated regulation, and has a knack for making AI feel less like science fiction and more like reliable science. Let's get into it. Danielle, it's great to have you. Would you mind giving everyone an intro to you and your role, please?
Of course. My name is Danielle Radden. I'm the VP of Global Revenue Operations at Facil.AI. A little bit of a mouthful, sorry. And ultimately, what I do is manage anything involving revenue. So marketing, sales, partner enablement, and then through our partners, customer enablement.
All right, cool. Thank you. So jumping in, many equate AI today with dystopian visions or viral ChatGPT headlines. From your experience in building automation, how do you explain that AI is actually just an evolution of control logic and expert systems that teams have trusted for decades?
Yeah, so it's funny that you mentioned the dystopian future. Everyone thinks that AI is coming, the robots are going to come attack us. I saw a video this morning about a robot in China that is now capable of carrying a baby full term and then delivering a baby as a surrogate mother. So, I mean, it's a very valid thing to say that
Wow.
AI is taking over. I don't think we're there in building controls. And so my background is in psychology. I wanted to study neuropsychology when I was in college. I got married and had kids, and somehow life got derailed. And now I'm in marketing, but a lot of that still comes back into what I do on a day-to-day life. I treat a lot of things like experiments, and I bring in a lot of that psychology into into my work and into this field in smart buildings. And ultimately what it comes down to is AI has a lot of fear because of the situations like the surrogate mother robot, and there's a lot of fear that AI is taking our jobs, and we have to combat that fear somehow. So we can't just say, oh, suck it up, you'll be fine, suck it up, buttercup. But we have to treat the employees, and we have to treat the staff, and we have to treat building owners like their emotions are valid. And the way that we combat that is we show them that it's not scary. So we show them examples of AI actually working, that it's not taking over anything. It's not changing the systems. It's not going rogue. We have them talk to other people who have been in the same situation. And also, ultimately, we encourage them to learn, because fear stems from a lack of control. So giving them a little bit of information and giving them the power back into their hands is really how we combat that.
When we've spoken before, you've mentioned that pilots are a sticky point for new tech. What structured approach do you use to design pilots that both demonstrate AI safety and deliver quick wins so that all the skeptics can become believers?
Yeah, so the big thing is that we can't promise the moon. I think one of the favorite quotes from someone in my past was, let's not try to boil the ocean. And
yeah.
So ultimately what we're trying to do at Facil is we're trying to take one small piece and prove that AI is safe and effective by adjusting just a chiller or just your rooftop units. And all we're doing is optimizing what's already there. So we're not promising that your entire system is going to be transformed and AI is going to fix everything. We're just taking one tiny little section and making sure that AI is effective. And we do that with as little risk as possible. So we don't want to have a lot of employee intervention. There's no downtime. We don't even charge you until we've proved that the AI is connected and is pulling results, because there's a lot of pushback, if you don't know. So we're giving the control back to the building owner.
Right. Yeah. I think that's quite a novel approach to build that trust whilst also demonstrating the validity of the product. You've developed a few playful analogies when we've talked to demystify AI. Can you share one that's worked particularly well to smile and an aha moment for a cautious FM team?
Yeah. So I would actually have two. The first one, we get a lot of questions about why don't you have a dashboard? We purposefully have said dashboards are great if you have a company that is focused on dashboards. We're not that company. We're just an AI company. We are optimizing your system so we don't have a dashboard, which is confusing for people. And I ask them how often they look at the dashboard to track their PID loops. And everybody laughs because nobody has a dashboard to track their PID loop. It's a control sequence. Nobody is tracking that. You don't watch it. So why do you need a dashboard to watch your AI? And then the other pushback and analogy that we've really seen a lot is they want the AI to be perfect. There's this idea that technology can't be adapted until it is 100% foolproof and perfect. And then our phone call drops and I lose them for a couple minutes. And then we get back on the call and I say, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, wait, this technology isn't perfect, but we're still using it in everyday life because it's built in with these safeties that even though it's not perfect, it's not damaging to you. So that's what we've done with our AI is it perfect? Probably not. But we've built in safeties that make sure that those imperfections are not going to hurt anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that vulnerability builds trust, and I think that's something that you lean into. And you've talked about trust isn't built in a single demo. What ongoing governance, validation metrics, or human-in-the-loop checkpoints do your team embed so operators feel in control, even as AI makes some of those real-time decisions?
Yeah, so we always have. As far as priority goes, humans always take priority. So we say we don't need a shut-off button because a manual override is a shut-off. Anytime a human makes a command, that always takes priority over the person. And we have very detailed logs. So I guess that AI could be a black box in some situations, but there again, that's really not in graining trust in your customers to just give them a box of magic. So we really have given them a log that they can go back and look at, which has been invaluable in warranty cases where we've actually come up and something has failed on the system and we have been able to prove it's not the AI because we've had a log. And our AI never told your system to do any of these things that you're claiming that it was screwing with. So right. In fact, we're not even tracking that. So you can't, I guess it's a insurance liability, but it's really been invaluable to have that log. And it definitely is a point of comfort too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that there would be lots of circumstances where people would default to try to blame something that they can't understand or point their own finger at. So, and that's a good insurance that you've created there.
Yeah, it's what your CYA insurance or whatever it is.
Yeah. Of course. Well, that's taken us to our wildcard question. You've expertly navigated through to this point. So, I wonder if AI could perform one delightful magic trick in a building. Something unexpected that would instantly win over the most skeptical operator. What do you think that would be and why?
I'm going to take this in a little bit of a left field. and say that the thing that AI could do to really be magical as my magic box or my magic trick would be to take all of the ontologies, and I'll probably make some enemies with this because there's a lot of people focusing on ontology.
Yes.
Take all of the ontologies and make them obsolete and name our systems in English or in French or in Portuguese or in Klingon or whatever language you want to have your points named in, and give them the entire name. None of this, I'm not sure of all of the tagging, but give it the whole name so that when we have a conversation with our system, we're not trying to interpret a shortened abbreviation of where and how it's functioning, but we can have a real conversation of this AI just told me that the air handling unit on floor, or that servicing floor 3, zone 2, is having a problem with its fan, and I don't have to interpret any point names. So I guess AI would magically make all ontologies in the language that we speak.
Wow, that would be super useful, wouldn't it? Well, could you imagine that? Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for your time, Danielle. It's been an absolute pleasure having you, so thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Ben.
Appreciate it. That was Danielle Radden from Facil.AI, cutting through the noise on AI in buildings. Here are 4 takeaways I took. 1, fear is emotional, not technical. Treat it as valid, then give people the tools to feel in control. 2nd, start small, prove safety. Optimize one chiller or rooftop unit before promising a revolution. 3rd, transparency builds trust. Be clear that human override keeps AI from becoming a black box. And 4th, perfection isn't the standard. Just like drop calls don't stop us using phones, AI can deliver value even if it isn't flawless. Thanks for listening. Short episodes, sharp insights, no filler. Catch you next time. You've been listening to the Climate Gap Quick Cuts. If you're building in climate tech, subscribe to hear more from the people making it happen.